Story time about how I got exposed to mold as an adult. When I was 19 or 20, I was living in an old Victorian house in Oregon with a couple other friends. And when one of them moved out, I moved into their space, which was the big living room slash dining room area. And it had a little alcove where I put my bed. Probably no insulation there. My bed was a futon mattress on a little frame, a little wood frame. And sometime after, in the winter, I got so sick with a bronchial infection I had to go on antibiotics. And a friend came to stay with me, and we decided to flip my mattress at some point, probably because my body was really achy. And lo and behold, it was pretty well covered with black mold, although I don't know exactly what kind it was. Probably Aspergillus or Penicillium or both. And after that, I developed pretty severe OCD that was limiting my life in ways, and also seasonal asthma. I do recognize that I had propensity toward OCD already. I recognize the existential thoughts I had as a child and a couple of things that I did, a couple minor things that I did as a child. Fast forward to when I was in my 40s and had my kiddos, was raising them in the house we were in for 13 years. By then we were probably there for 10. When it was already problematic when we moved in, there was a musty smell. I developed pretty severe depression, didn't correlate it, and also pretty extreme anxiety. Then the house flooded a couple times. There was a pipe burst in the basement, and then the second time the gutters were not maintained and the water went right down the walls into the basement. There was probably about a half inch or an inch of water on the floor. The landlord didn't show up for 3 days after I alerted him. It could have been standing on the floor already, I'm not sure, before I alerted him. After that, things just spiraled out of control for my health. I basically was bedridden, and my oldest had bloody noses so badly we had to call 911 5 times. Mind you, I'm a doula, so I'm not afraid of blood, but it was worrisome. And my youngest was seeing bugs floating in the air. I had to call 911 a couple times. My cat almost died as well. So I'll go into the details of all of the symptoms I was experiencing in the next video, and then the exposures that I had as a child with molds. On that note, in health.